Hello there, my name is Vladimir and today we take a look at how to be a successful musician. Being a successful musician means different things for different people. Whether being successful means you want to make music for a living, having a great cover band that gigs 20 times a year, or have a pro-level worship band at your church, these concepts should help you to achieve your goals. Number 1. Know your craft. Whether you are a singer, a guitarist, a drummer, or even a bass player, you need to be proficient in what you do. I know that it might sound obvious, but that's where it all starts. This doesn't mean that you need to be able to play or sing every music style out there, but you need to be able to do the things that you sign up for well. Sing in tune, play in time, and have reliable gear that you know how to use. The other side of knowing your craft is also to learn to say no to things that you really can't do. If you have only played death metal for your entire life, you maybe shouldn't sign up for that acoustic pop gig your friend asked you to, because that might be bad for you and the band as well. Number 2. Be on time. This is something that drives me crazy. Setting up all the gear at the rehearsal place and then waiting 40 minutes for the last guy to show up is really frustrating, and if you do this at constant basis, chances are those people are not going to ask you to play with them again. If your car breaks down or something else happens, be sure to inform others as soon as possible that you're going to be late. And even if your reason for being late is that you just lost the track of time, it's how you handle those situations that makes a huge difference. Show people that you value their time. Number 3. Be dependable. If you say you're going to learn the solo of the song before the next rehearsal, be sure to do it. Doing the things you say you are going to do is something that builds trust and make you a person that people want to work with. Something I do sometimes is taking on too many tasks and then struggling to get them all done in time. Learn to show trust in others as well by asking them to help you. Number 4. Bring additional value besides your instrument. Is there something besides your main craft that you can bring into the band? Could you perhaps drive people to the gig, or be the person that brings tools with them in case something breaks? Or could you perhaps learn some basic chords that you could play on the keyboard while you are also singing? And speaking of singers, please learn how to set up and pack the stage gear. I've seen so many times singers arriving just before the sound check while the rest of the band has spent the last 2 hours setting up their own gear, PA, microphones, monitoring and everything else. If you don't play an instrument, be sure to show up at the same time as the rest of the band and ask them how you could help them setting up everything. I promise you, you will see many happy faces. Number 5. Constantly seek to improve. There is no one way to get better at what you do, so be sure to try different things and see what works best for you. Over the years I've noticed that I'm not really good at sitting down and just practicing for the sake of learning something like a new chord shape or a scale or something like that. At some point I realized that the best way to keep myself motivated is to have an upcoming gig or a recording session or a YouTube video. That is why I always try to have some sort of project coming up so I can challenge myself as a singer, as a guitarist, as a mixing engineer and a YouTube guy as well. One way to learn quickly is to take gigs that are 5 to 10% over your actual skill level and work those missing percentages before the show. Doing this gives you an actual deadline and there's pressure because you always want to have the best show you can do. Whether you want to admit it or not, having a deadline and being under pressure are the things that actually make us practice the most. I also recommend trying to find musicians that are way more talented than you and have jam sessions with them. Those are the situations that will point out your greatest weaknesses really quickly, but those situations can also serve as a huge motivation boost when you'll start noticing that you can keep up with the other guys. Number 6. Prioritize. If you want to be successful in music, you need to make it a priority. Prioritize your band practice, your gigs, your recording sessions, and make sure you have enough time to learn the material. I've met several people who are impossible to schedule a rehearsal date with. If you ask them 2 months before, they say that they don't know what they are having at that time, so they can't set a date yet. And if you ask them 2 weeks before the gig, they already have their calendar full of other stuff. Basically no day is good for them because they prioritize other things over music. If you want to be successful in music, don't be that person. Number 7. Make others shine. I feel this is something that separates amateur musicians and more professional musicians quickly. And the question is, when you are playing with a band, Are you focusing only on your own instrument, or are you listening to the sound of the whole band and reacting to that? Especially if you are in a situation where you are only playing one gig with that band, your job is not to show off, but to make the band sound better. Use your instrument to create musical layers that other band members don't do, and if you are the lead singer, follow the dynamics of the band and make others shine by doing your job well.
But I wanna play solos!
Don't worry, if the other band members have the same attitude as you have, they will definitely give you some solo spots for some extra shine. Number 8. It's all about relationships. I know many people who make their living out of music, and the one thing they share is just that they are basically really nice people. You might be the best in the world at something, but if you have a huge ego or you are just pain to work with, the chances are that you're going to see a lot of one-time gigs. I would take a good musician who is also a really nice person over a great musician that has attitude issues 10 times out of 10, and that's what other people would do as well. If people enjoy your company and you can handle yourself professionally when needed, they are much more likely to recommend you to their friends and associates. And because nowadays you can find the most amazing musicians online, personal recommendations have become more important than ever. Think about it yourself. Would you rather hire someone who's been recommended by your friend or some random person whose ad you saw online? Thanks for watching my video. This was my first lesson ever, and I'm really excited to know whether you found this helpful or not. Please let me know down in the comments. As always, feel free to ask any questions you might have, follow me on Instagram, and hit that subscribe button for more content in the future. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.